Hey, this is Stephen Hunter. It's good to be with you today. Even though we can't be together in person, I hope that these devotionals are proving somewhat of a source of encouragement to you, at least until we can come back together again. I had opportunity to speak today on the phone with one of our members, and I will say that she is having a birthday tomorrow and will turn 90. And that's Anna Lou Coleman. So if you want to give her a call on her birthday, don't tell her that I told you, because I don't want to get in trouble. But I had a chance to talk with her today, and we're kind of talking about the way things are. And of course, someone who will be turning 90 tomorrow, one of the things that she said was that, all these changes have given us a chance to focus more on our family, to focus more on our faith and on people rather than with the hustle and bustle of life. She remembers living through the Second World War. She was a little girl at that time. And she remembers when they had rationing books. And I was very curious to learn more about this because I had always heard of rationing books but was not as familiar with them as I thought, but a family or a person would receive a rationing book and you would have stamps in there. She said that they had to ration things such as coffee. Now that really got my attention because I don't tend to ration coffee. I drink it as if the world is full of it. And so when you think about that, I was very intrigued to listen to her perspective, simply because I think it can serve as a great perspective for us today. Now, this is aside from those who may be dealing with loss of jobs, loss of a business, loss of health or sickness. But for the most of us who are relatively healthy, who have food, clothing, and shelter, and yet are still so overwhelmed with grief about this, maybe we need perspective. And one of the things that we discussed that I thought was very insightful and really proved, to be honest, I told her, I said, that first week that everything was shut down, I said, I was kind of mopey. And I said, by the second week, I was okay, and I'm doing okay, I suppose. I said, I've kind of refocused from what we were used to, going out to eat, coming and going as we please, going here, there, and yonder. And, I said, I felt like I had acted like a spoiled child. And she said, it's possible that we are too caught up in this world, even us Christians. And I would have to probably agree with that. I want to read to you a passage from 1 John chapter 2, verses 15 through 17. John, do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world is passing away, and the lust of it. But he who does the will of God abides forever. So I think here's something for you and I to really focus on. Number one, if I still have my health, if I still have my job, and I don't have those economic challenges or those health challenges, if I'm unhappy, what am I really unhappy about? And is it possible that maybe I have come to love the world more than I should have? Now, I'm not going to make that judgment for you, but I would ask you to do a period of self-examination and ask yourself that. Of course, for those who are economically impacted and those who are in poor health, those would be exceptions to this. And we would certainly, if we could ever be helpful to you, want to do so. But, I remember as a child, I used to sit around with my grandparents and even great-grandparents. Some of my great-grandparents who were, when I was a small child, they were relatively older at that point. Some of them lived through the Great War, World War I. And one of the things that I always heard them talk about was how things used to be. And you know, our society is very fast-paced. And because of that, we are so attached to instant gratification. And so is it possible that I have come to love the world too much, and that is why my mood or my countenance maybe has grown melancholy or sad or whatever the case is? And if that is the case, that can be the focus of our prayers going forward. Lord, help me to fall more in love with you than I am with this world. Because the one thing we can be certain of in uncertain times is God. If we can help you in any way, please feel free to call upon us. We love you, we're praying for you, and we wish you Godspeed.